Alright, so we are back for another Dokkan battle video, and in today's video we are going to be talking about what new units we could see on the New Year's Step Up banner, because of course we are going to be getting this tomorrow on Global Dokkan. Now, a couple things I do want to clarify before we get into the video. Number one, we are going over the global version of it, because of course Global and JP have different units in their games right now, because they're not synced yet, so the banners are going to be a little different, as they typically are every year. Also, we're only going over the last two steps, because let's be honest, these are really the only important steps. I mean, you could still pull some good units on, step 1, step 2, step 3, or whatever. But, step 4 and 5, those are the real good ones. You can see you got a lot of 200% leader skills here. You got a lot of good summonable LRs here. So these are the ones that really matter. So that's what we're going to be going over in today's video. And also, I did base the new units we should be getting off of the previous New Year's Step Up banner. So some of these units might be a little off because, we had the whole superhero stuff going on. So a couple releases were kind of out of order. But for the most part, this should be pretty accurate. So with all that said, we can go ahead and get into step 4, I think, right? Or is this 1, 2, 3, 4? Yeah, so step 4 of the New Year's Step Up banner, which should have Dokkan Fest Kale, Dokkan Fest World Tournament Goku, Piccolo, God Goku, Super 17, RF Blue Boys, Pan, Pat the Power Kid Goku, Bardock. And then I put the Gammas down here because technically the release date of last year with the Kale and Caulifla and then the Super Vegeta, we didn't get a Dokkan Fest release date during their time slot because that was right after the superhero stuff. So that, of course, made the celebration go like a little longer for New Year's. So then it was just a little weird with last year's. That's what I'm trying to say. So I just put the Gammas here because that makes a lot of sense. And they would be pretty good on this banner and give it a lot of value. So a lot of really good units here. All of these units on the first row I think are pretty much confirmed. So having Kale, World Tournament Goku, World Tournament Piccolo, God Goku, and Super 17 all as options that you could pull is definitely very valuable. Now, don't get me wrong, Super 17 is not the craziest. RF Blue Boys aren't the craziest. Pan has definitely started to age. Pat the Power Kid Goku started to age a little as well. And then also Bardock. I mean, he's good with his Scouter, but once that Scouter does go away after the first 5 turns, his value does drop a little. So there's some weak options on here, but then also World Tournament Piccolo, God Goku, World Tournament Goku. You've got Gamma 1 and Gamma 2, who hopefully will be on the banner. So some really good options you can pull on here. But just keep in mind, there's also some weak units you can pull. But if you don't have a lot of these 200% leader skills for newer players, this is going to be a great banner to summon on because I think everyone here has good teams. I would say the only unit that probably has necessarily a bad team would be Super 17 because even Kale, she leads Transformation Boost. So, of course, it's a really good category. World Tournament Goku leads Earthbred Fighters. Piccolo leads some of the best Extreme Class teams in the game. God Goku's Pure Saiyans and Hybrid Saiyans, so this guy's always going to be a good lead, and he's also one of the best units out of this pool of characters as well. So I'd say between God Goku, World Tournament Piccolo, and then World Tournament Goku, those are the best units you could pull here. So definitely a lot of value with this, but then moving on to the new LRs that we should get, which this is going to seem a little small to some of you guys, but just keep in mind, we've gotten a lot of Carnival LRs over the past year, so there's been noticeably a lot less Yellow Coin LRs, obviously, because of the Carnival LRs. So you can see here, the only 4 LRs that we should be getting updated. Now, of course, there's going to be other LRs, like a lot of old crappy ones, but we're going to get an update of a couple new ones, and those new ones are going to be LR Bulma, Golden Frieza, Merge Zamasu, and then Super Buu. LR Bulma, I mean, I can't say anything bad about her. I mean, her leader skill sucks, but, she's a Yellow Coin LR. You're probably not running her as a lead most of the time anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. She's a great support, amazing defensively, great offensively, on some really weak teams. I guess her link set is a little weak, but if you run her on, I don't want to say like a Dragon Ball Saga team, because then there's also the World Tournament Goku you could run her next to, but if you run her next to a lot of these, I guess Dragon Ball Saga units, she's going to look really impressive. And Dragon Ball Saga isn't necessarily amazing at the moment, but it's not bad either. So you could definitely do some pretty good teams with her, but she doesn't need to have a lot of links activated to be crazy, so that's the good thing with her. You could kind of just throw her on whatever team, and she's going to look impressive. And then we got Golden Frieza. Yeah, he's still really crazy as well. He's got that 90% damage reduction turn 1. Of course, it does drop off as the fight goes on, but fights aren't typically going past like turn 8 at this point. So you're really only losing the bulk of his damage reduction at the very end of the fight. And then at that point, you could just kill the enemy and then bam, you win. So definitely very good, especially with how content is structured right now. Offensively, he's amazing. And then as we established with that damage reduction, defensively, this guy's amazing as well. And then Merge Zamasu, he's good. I'll say that, especially now that Future Saga has had a lot of buffs, obviously with Worldwide Download Celebration. He's got a really good spot on the Dokkan Fest LR Zamasu's team, but of course, because they can't link, and because he's kind of more a slot 2 and 3 option, I don't know. There's definitely a lot of opportunities where this guy's not going to seem that valuable. Because like I said, if you run him in slot 2 with the other LR Zamasu, they're not going to link together, so then you're missing out on big bad bosses, Thirst for Conquest, Legendary Power, all these real big power links that you want to make sure you get activated, you just won't be able to get. So it's going to be a little tricky with this guy, but if you have a good spot for him on whatever extreme class team you're running, then of course he's going to be very valuable on there, because after he supers, I know he gets a lot of damage reduction, he gets a lot of stats on super, he's healing, so there's definitely is a lot of value with him. It's just, you got to have the right team, I'd say. It's not like Bulma or Frieza, where you could kind of just throw them on whatever team, as long as they got a leader skill, and they're pretty much going to be fine. This guy does kind of need to get set up around him. And then same goes for Super Boo. You want to make sure you're facing the right enemy, because I know he gets guard, but it's restricted to a certain enemy. I think it's Fusion and then like Heavenly Events. I could be wrong on that, but he does have guard, and he does get to some crazy high stats. His damage is going to be insane for the first couple turns also. So Super Boo is definitely very useful, but we're kind of waiting for his teams to become good. I think obviously an LR Kid Boo would be really useful for him. I don't know, just some other good units that would link with him, really. Maybe a new LR Janemba or an Easy A for the LR Janemba. I think that's something we could see soon as well. So definitely these two guys need a little bit of help, but also you got Bulma and Frieza on here who are still just absolutely insane. So a lot of value with the new LRs you could pull, a lot of value with the new Dokkan Fest units you could pull. And yeah, I guess that pretty much has been the video. Let me know if you are going to be summoning on the Step Up banner, and let me know how many stones you have for the banner if you are summoning for it. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.